What are the 5 fundamental things that I think, in my opinion, every guitar player should know to make you not only a better player, but a better musician? Stay tuned and find out. Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in again today. Terrio back at you. Thank you for listening to my little doodle. Here's a question I get a lot. Shane, do you need theory to be a really great guitar player? What makes a great guitar player? You know, or the other one that I hear a lot is, I don't need any of that theory stuff, man. I play by feel. I play from the heart. I just use my ear, you know, like the greats. I mean, Clapton doesn't know theory, and all that stuff is true. There's, you know, those statements are fair. But I would argue that all the greats knew at least some of these fundamentals I'm going to show you today. I'm going to suggest that you add to your routine. What makes a great player? I think, in my opinion, it's feel and ear, having a great ear. Those two things, that combination. It's like a great athlete. Feel, it's hard to teach, maybe impossible to teach. It's all, you know, who you play with. I think you get it from playing with guys that are great, better than you, and you step up and it develops a feel. You get a feel from being around, listening to records, that kind of thing. You can sort of copy it. Your ear can be developed, and you can train your ear and you can develop it to a really high level. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about. But let's just say, hypothetically, I haven't taught privately in many years, but let's say that somebody came up to me and said, Shane, my kid is 10 years old and he or she is like a great guitar player, you know, has all this, they're always like blues prodigies, but it wants to be a really well-rounded player. So could you teach him? So what I would do if I was grooming, let's say fictional he or she to be a great player, I would come up with this sort of well-rounded meal of, you know, sort of your reading, writing arithmetic of these things to work on, 5 things. And to me, every player should know these 5 things. Some of them qualify as theory, hence the thumbnail. All right. So number 1, notes on the neck. No excuse for not knowing the notes on the neck. And I'm not talking about like this, like, oh, it's F. Oh, F. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, F. You don't know them. You have to know it like this, F. Where your muscle memory, it automatically goes there like you're looking at a word and reading a word in a book. Unless you just learn how to read, you don't have to phonetically pronounce each syllable. Your hand will just go there. B flat, you need to know that B flat. Now, how do you develop this? I came up with a video. I did a video. I didn't come up with the method, but I used the method I was taught at GIT, which is an ingenious technique to master the notes on the neck. The video is up and it got great response, and it's pretty good if I say so myself. It's not a fancy video, but it gets the job done. Check that out. Why do you need the notes on the neck? Lots of things will happen when you know the notes on the neck. It's going to open up areas of the guitar that you didn't realize. You can communicate with your bandmates easier. You'll be able to, you know, you'll know what's going on more. You got to know what's happening on the neck. So learn the notes on the neck. Number 2, you should know basic chord tones and how those chords are built. What do I mean by this? Let's take an A major bar chord here. You should be able to look at that bar chord and know that your ring finger, 7th fret, 5th string is playing the 5th. That's the 5th of the chord. Why is it the 5th? Well, if you play a major scale starting on A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's the 5th. You should know that's the 5th. Flat 5th, that's the flat 5th. I'm talking about intervals and how chords are built. And we're not even getting into theory yet. This is just the building blocks, the ingredients. You should know that that is the major third, C sharp, 6th fret, 3rd string. And to make a chord minor, it's a minor third, so you flat that. Those little things like that, you should know. And again here, 1, 2, 3, there's another third. How do you make that minor? So that's just basic harmony. And you learn that by playing around with chords, knowing the formulas, right? A major 7th chord in Western harmony, that's the building block of Western harmony. Triads, 1, 3, 5, 7. Shane, you lost me. What is 1, 3, 5, 7? Let's take the A major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are our scale tones. And then it starts again, so that's an octave or 8. So in Western harmony, if we take the 1, the 3, and the 5 of the scale, we get a triad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now on the guitar, you can't play all those at the same time. But if we move it here, that's an E note, by the way. 1, 3, 5. That is a triad. When you're playing this, it's only 3 notes. A, E, A, C sharp, E, A. That's a big fat major triad, but we know it as guitar players as a bar chord. But you should know, why is that minor? Oh, flat third. Why does that sound like that? Oh, sus4. So it's beyond the purpose of this video to teach you all that, but there's tons of videos on that. Chord construction, you should add that and know that. All right, number 3, intervals. Remember I said you can develop your ear? This is how you do it, with knowing intervals. And you practice that by using the scale, any scale, a major scale. 1, that would be an interval of a major second. Okay, so there's little hacks you can use. So that major second interval, you could use happy birthday to remember it. Happy birthday, da 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 da. That's a major second. Get that in your brain in different keys. And it's going to help you learn things really quickly. You're going to develop your ear at a real fast pace. There's other ones like nobody knows the trouble I've seen. That's a major 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's other hacks you can make up. You know, a flat 5 is a really easy one because it's called a tritone. You could use YYZ. That's a flat 5. So again, beyond the scope of the video to teach you every interval, but start to research that and put that into your practice routine. So let's get into some real theory now. Harmonized major scale. I think this is something everybody should learn, even if you don't know 100% what I'm talking about. Check it out. Harmonized major scales, when you take the major scale and you harmonize it by applying a formula. 1, 3, 5, or 1, 3, 5, 7. And this is what this means. So if we take a C major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, those are our scale notes, and 8 is the octave, right? It's only 7 notes. If we apply our formula of the 1, 3rd, 5, and 7 of the scale, we get this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. That spells out a C major 7 chord. Now we have to refinger it to play all those notes at the same time, but essentially these are the notes I just played in that. And if we do the same thing for the second scale step, 1, 2, and now I'm going to go 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. we get this. The 2 chord, which is minor 7. In this case, D minor 7. So if we continue up the scale, that's an E minor 7. And then we just keep going. For time's sake, F major 7, that's our 4 chord. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 chord, F major 7. 5 chord is a dominant 7, G7. 6th chord is a minor 7, A minor 7. The 7th chord is a B minor 7 flat 5. That's what spells out when you apply the formula. Now, if I lost you and you're like, Shane, I don't understand any of that, memorize this first. C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G7, A minor 7, B minor 7 flat 5. And why learn this? This is very important. All those things I do, the R&B rhythm things, and all the chord progression stuff, it all comes from harmonized major scale. Pop tunes, when you're composing, when you're, if you go to Nashville and you're playing, that's the bread and butter there every day, the number charts, and everything is based on a harmonized major scale. Hey, let's do a 15-11 intro in the key of E. What does that mean? 15-11 in the key of E. Your 1 chord, 1, E, 5, 15-11. The 5 chord would be a B, and then back to E for 2 bars. So it would be 1 bar of 1, 1 bar of the 5, and 2 bars of the 1. There's no magic to it, you should know what a 2-5-1 is in the key of C major. 7, 2, 5, 1. You should know what a 1-6-2-5 is. 1, 6, 2, 5. I just showed you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A minor. The 2 chord, D minor 7. So you'll start to make connections. That will unlock a lot if you just get that harmonized major scale together in a bunch of different keys. It's not as hard as you think. Okay, number 5, modes. Modes can be a real source of confusion. You kind of open up a can of worms automatically when you try to teach it. I make it really simple. Here's how I like to talk about modes, and I teach modes this way. We'll just take one of the most useful ones, Dorian, as an example. Every mode has a characteristic flavor or the note that separates it from all the others. And that you can hear it a mile away once you develop your ear. Dorian, it is the natural 6th, the major 6th. So what does that sound like? This is how you learn modes. You get the sound of the mode in your ear. You don't memorize all the fingerings and go, well, it looks like G major. It is the same notes. It's not going to make any sense unless you hear it in context. So let me give you some context. Here's an A minor, little vamp. All right, there's our little A minor 7 vamp. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's the mode. That note really sticks out. That is your flavor note. That is your major 6th note. There it is again. Remember, that's why you need to know your notes and chord tones. So you know that F sharp, that's the same note, up an octave. And get that note in your head. That's Dorian. You can hear it a mile away. When you hear Santana, you think Santa. It's a sweeter sounding minor as opposed to a straight Aeolian minor. Natural minor is this. Hear how that's more, it's got more to it. That's sweeter. That's the way you learn the modes. So just now I showed you the difference between natural minor, and Dorian minor. It's sweeter. And when you go through each one of the modes, some are easier than others, but they all have a characteristic sound that you get in your ear. Okay, that's how I like to teach modes. To me, you find that target note, that key flavor note, the juice of the note. Like I said, in Dorian, it's the natural sixth. In Lydian, that would be the sharp 4, sharp 11, and I don't have time to go in all of that today on this video, but just keep the concept when you're working on modes. Find the flavor note and milk that thing. Get it in your ears, right? So we talked about a lot today. Hope you guys stuck with me to the end. I think these concepts will not only make you a better guitar player, but a more complete musician overall, and you'll be able to apply yourself to any kind of situation and fit in, musically. So if you got something out of this, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Terrio out.